is a message for anybody who is watching this program, that whenever there is a feeling which is disturbing, just crush it and push it far. Just crush it and push it far, and that will disappear, and you will get the great happiness what you are seeing in Anchal's face now. That's amazing story, Anchal, because in life, no, to undergo continuous difficulty, and then come out, no, and again you are telling that you got something further to achieve.
Yes.
There are a lot of things, I'm sure. That's why I really wanted to work with you. This is the concept of Global TV. See the people who are really experiencing life.
Right, sir.
You are experiencing life. You are living, not you are thinking about future living. You are in real life, and
Right.
people like you will really transform the world. And my only concern and suggestion to you is, there are millions of people like you in this world. There are few people who are abusing others. There are people thinking other person's suffering is their happiness.
Right, right.
I cannot be happy when other person is suffering. It is impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah, this is the theory of chronic capitalism also. People
Right.
think if we make the economy to grow, everybody get a job, everybody get money in their hand, then we will not get housework people, we will not get the menial job people. This is all the thinking of our society. I want you to speak what is that made the difference in life. All the problems, the impact it had created in life. What was your response to the tough times which you have faced? So,
Right,
what is that fighter within you? The same fighter is in every human being's mind.
right, right,
A
sir.
human being who is facing a challenge, it will happen if there is a fighter within.
Right, sir.
So, what is that fighter within you? How you will express it to people so that they can discover the fighter in within themselves.
As you know that my journey starts from 8 by 8 room, and um, I think when I was just 15 plus, since then I realized that I don't want to live that life what my family and my relatives are living, because I come from such a background where my father was auto rickshaw driver, and I couldn't complete my education just because of his drinking habits and abusive nature towards my mother and towards us. And that's the reason when I decide to drop out from 8 and take care of my family. And I remember me and my brother told my father, enough is enough, if you want to take care of us, it's okay. If you don't, it's okay, we can survive. So that day we both left our studies, and we start working in different fields. Like I joined one of but so first I did one photo shoot with one of our neighbor, and she posed me. She was like, "Yeah, chill, why don't you come and do a photo shoot?" And from there, then she introduced me to one of the stock market office, where I did the first. I joined as a real estate. First I joined as a receptionist, and then I actually joined them as a freelancer. You can say trader. So I start doing trading there in future and cash, and after that. I did a several jobs. In fact, my brother joined somewhere as a auto mechanic, you can say, and he started working there. I was working here, and then I changed my several jobs. And every time my belief to take one step ahead is, I always believe that God have something beautiful for me. So no matter I faced domestic violence, I faced child abusing in my childhood from both the side, from my nana side, my dada side. But I know one thing, that if they are doing something, so I should not give up on me. Right? Mostly people give up. Mostly people thought that, oh, something happened with me now. How I will face the society? I believe opposite, because they should think that way. Right? They did a mistake. They are doing wrong. Why should, as a female, I give up or I commit some suicide or something like that. I completely believe opposite, and I was like, no, I will definitely achieve something, and one day I will be that big that they are not able to eye contact with me. And since then, I'm working in different field. As I told you, stock market. I joined as a receptionist in one of the fitness club where I learned first swimming. Then I become a swimming instructor. Then I joined export house, and then I joined this stock market. Then I get into real estate. So after that, one of the free broker approached me and he said, Anchal, why don't you join my company, and you don't want to come to office also? We'll give you a number and project details in newspaper. You just have to attend those call and try to close those deals. So first I was doing from home, and then I start going to the builder's office. So from Delhi to Gurgaon, I used to travel every day. And I remember I used to stand whole day outside their building to crack some of the deal. And soon enough, I'm able to sold out a property where I get the brokerage of 2.5 lakh rupees. And after that, I was like very much happy because I start my job with 4,000 rupees, and then 4, 10, 5. So इस तरीके से सारा grow किया. And then later on, I remember that this guy refused to give me my brokerage. Reason being, he said we don't have any agreement between. So he said, which money are you talking about? You are never working under me. So, but I was working hard enough, and that company noticed me. One of the vice president noticed me, and he said he arranged a meeting between me and that broker. So I remember that day he was saying that, Anchal, you know how loud you are speaking, and I told him, sir, I know sometime I also scared of my voice. So you are not giving my hard-earned money, but you're talking about my voice. But the best part happened that company actually approached me later on, and they said, Anchal, why don't you work with us only? Work as a freelancer, but work with us directly as a broker. So from there, my life changed completely. They actually released some of the payment, and then I started working with them. And eventually, me and my brother both involved in real estate. And then after some time, we start a small venture, a small company we set up by the name of Cyrian Solution. And we start selling properties. I'm working with them also and doing freelancing from my home also. So whenever we have visits or whenever some clients or queries are there, my brother used to go there, and he was showing them property and all that. So from there, after a couple of years, we are good, we are, you can say, we are able to manage that much of funds that we can buy now property. But my younger sister, so she was into a relationship with someone, and she want to get married, but my family is against that because of intercaste thing. So somehow I'm managed to convince my family that why don't you allow her, because if she will not get marry him, then she will commit suicide, and then what we will do if she is die any which ways. So but still family is like, no, they are sick, how can we marry in 6? So but any which ways, against my family's will, I'm able to manage that, and I performed her marriage like a proper ritual way, and we give them everything, whatever exchange is there. But then my family is like, they actually disown her, and they were like, okay, whatever happened now, it's her life, we don't have any relation with her. Okay. And then we start moving ahead, and we are living our life in a very normal way. But after a couple of months only, we get this news. Then she was killed and throw on Suraj Kund, and they pretend that she was kidnapped and raped, and then they killed her and threw her. So that was a shocking news for all of us, and we were all crying and running here and there. But then we found her body, and immediately we got to know that he's the one who killed her. and then I fight really hard to get her justice, and after some time we are able to able to get what we are asking from God, that if you feel that she is a human and she deserves to be get justice. So he's behind the bar, sir. It's been 14, more than 14 years now. I'm still fighting for a Phansi. And I get lots of threads, call from him, and lots of stupid thing happen. And I was just 21 at that time. I don't know the meaning of fighting a murder case and all that. But trust me, when you are in a situation now, God is there to guide you. That's what happened with me also. And in every step, he's guiding me where my family is not supporting me. And financially, I'm not that strong, but we are fighting without even thinking a second thought. So after that 6 7 months only, my family is like, now it's time to you get married. And in that society's pressure, because everyone in my relatives, they're talking about me, that who will marry her, who will accept her, whatever recent past you have. And I don't think so she's able to get married now. So my one of my uncle with my father, they actually you know they told me that there is someone who's handicapped. Why don't you get married to him? Because any which ways, no one going to marry you. So reason I get married to that guy also, because I always believe who have some issues, they are more grounded and more settled in life. But there it's completely opposite again. So after 1 month of marriage, they start beating me. My father-in-law used to beat me a lot, and my husband, ex-husband, he's not even saying anything, and he never beat me, not even other family member. But father-in-law is like, he's always like, if you give me that much of money, you can stay, otherwise you can go from here. And then they locked me even in one room, and they said, you will cook here, you will this is your washroom, this is your kitchen, this is your everything now. And after a couple of hours, they start beating me. So my neighbors came by chance to see me, and they were like, "Oh shit, we thought you were lying, that they abused you and they beat you, but no, it's true." So immediately she called my family, and she was like, "Hey, if you want your daughter back, so please take her from here, and we are not responsible," because they were the mediators in this marriage. So they bring me back, and again they were not ready to accept me. My family is like, "No, this has happened in our culture. It's normal to beat each other, and it will take my couple of years." But I completely refused, because I don't want to be abused like my mother and die like my sister, because I am taking care of them. And as I told you, I have a strong belief in me, because if I can, as a individual human being who's not having enough education, enough support, and don't know about society, can take care of entire family, then I can take care of myself too. I told them clearly, if you want to keep me, it's okay. If you don't want to keep me, I'll go somewhere else and I take care of myself. And then after a couple of months, 2007 I got married, and 2008 I was divorced mutually, because they knew if I fight, or if they fight further, they will definitely go behind the bar, because we have all the proof of dowry. And that day, sir, in 2007, I bought my first car to give them as a dowry, which is Alto maroon color. I still remember wine red. So this happened. This is another chapter of my life. Then after some time, you can say after a year and so, I bought a piece of land for my family, which is my dream, to take out my family from that one room to a better place. And I'm able to manage that. I bought a plot of 100 square yard, then I built up that property with the rest of my savings. And at the stage of finishing, that property got demolished completely. And I was like, what? A girl who already faced so much, and then made her dream house, and which is also got demolished at the stage of finishing, where you invest all your savings and take loan from others. So that is another shock for me. But I remember that my property is getting demolished, and I was standing there and I'm crying, what is happening. And there also I have this, self-talking habit as well. So I always tell myself that Achal, this is just a property which is gone. It's okay. If you are alive and you can make another one, and thanks to God that you are still alive and you can do anything in future if you work really hard. But that time, real estate is also not working really well. There's a downfall in real estate, and whatever savings I have, whatever loan I took, everything blew in no moment. So I was again under big, losses, and as a freelancer, I'm not able to make good money. So I start working under someone again with this thought, it's okay, let's start once again. And we moved somewhere on rental apartment, and from there I started working under someone. And then after some time, my father was diagnosed with TB, and my mother diagnosed, the moment he recovered, my mother diagnosed with the cabbage worm in her brain, and her right hand got paralyzed. And then uh, somehow we are we offer one of a local guy, why don't you take this property, give us just one floor, so we don't want anything else, we just need a place because we can't pay so much of rent, and we are not in a condition to pay 30,000-40,000 rupees every month. So this guy get convinced somehow, and but he actually opened that property and buy from us and give us one floor. We stayed there for quite long. In fact, till last year we were staying there only. So my mother, in fact, used to tell me that, oh, this whole property belongs to us, and what happened, sometimes God is not fair. I was like, you should not say that. You should be thankful that you have a roof on your head still. That's God, still we have something. So that self belief, that power of mind, actually, what you preach, you practice, and that become your reality. So I always believe in that, and I never doubt my uh, you can say my whatever talent is there, I would say, whatever capability I am in. But I always believe in myself that I can actually do wonder, and I always have a faith that God have something beautiful for me. So that's the reason I always, no matter whatever event is going on in my life or what I am facing at that moment, but I know that is not for forever. It will definitely go. When happiness can't be there forever, so pain can't be there forever. And one more thing, sir, people don't understand. If there is only happiness, they don't know the meaning of human being. God made us to experience everything: pain, hardships, happiness, and helping others. Every emotion made for a reason, so that it complete a human being as a human being, right? So after that, sometime my mother cured, we shifted into that property, Chhatarpur. And then in 2017, I was diagnosed with third stage of breast cancer. And I remember I was celebrating my birthday, and just 2 days before, and after 2 days, I got a beautiful gift, which is cancer again. So I always say a beautiful gift, because after that, Achal become Achal Sharma. And people maybe see the negative side of it, that oh, she's diagnosed with cancer, and maybe more painful, and she would have died. But I always see a positive side. Reason is this: when I was diagnosed first day, of course I cry like any other any human being. And I was like, why again me? Itna sab hone ke baad, once again you're giving me this pain. But that day I realized, Achal, God at least told you that at this stage where you can give one more chance to yourself, right? How many people are there who are lucky enough to come, they fell down and they again, woke up, and again they start their journey. You are lucky enough. God every time is with you whenever you face any hardship, any problem, any issue. So trust me, I have that strong belief. He is giving me all the challenges to just make me super strong, so that there is nothing who can harm me. So the cancer is also one of incident which has happened for a reason, I believe. He made me Achal Sharma. Now,
I wanted to interfere in between.
yeah,
See, I see people narrating story and enjoy listening stories.
right,
Here, when you narrate the story, what I am noticing is more than the story, I am noticing your face. You are telling the tough story which others tell with a cry.
right, sir.
You are telling it with such a graceful smile. That means what you are seeing about those difficult memories, you have already reframed, and it has given you the reverse picture, the positive picture. And any difficult situation is one more challenge for you, and you will be managing that. It's another life,
Right.
another life. Yeah,
Right.
please continue. Please continue.
So, yes, very well said, sir. God gave me another life, and that time I haven't noticed that. I noticed another life for me, and I decide that Anchal, you already give so many chance to yourself. Just give one more chance, and if there is no time left, if maybe you have 1 year, maybe you have few months, don't give up before that, because dying is always one day thing, sir, or maybe 1 second thing, right? But survival is difficult. People are going opposite. People are living in that fear that, oh, I'm going to die one day. Everyone has to die one day. Even I am not permanent here. No one is permanent here. But we are living our every day in that fear, and every moment that, oh, I'm going to die now. What will happen with my family? Who will take care of? But, sir, let me tell you one thing, nobody goes with no one. No matter whosoever die from the family or anyone, nobody, we remember them for few months or few years, but later on we made in such a way that we accept then everything, we accept everything after some time, and that's the beauty of human. We made in such a manner. So any which way, sir, when my treatment is started, people are again call me, fool. My doctors call me chudel, and they are like, because I start dressing up, sir. I start dressing up. I used to wear my best makeup. I used to wear my best dresses. No, simple clothes. I used to wear gowns, dresses, ripped denim, and everything. And then I go to my gym, then I go to hospital, because I was not taking my family with me, because I refused to get take this sympathy from the society and from the family. I told my family, if you are going to show me or sympathy, or if, don't show me that, because you are the one who's telling me, by showing that sympathy, that I am going to die, right? Which I am not. I have that belief that I will not die, and this is not my end. So let me live my life, no matter. Maybe it's a hardship for 1 year or maybe 2 year, or let's believe that I'm going to die. But why would I die with that pain and sympathy? So I start celebrating my life from there. So I actually did lots of campaign. I did modeling for a couple of brands. I did my own photo shoots as a model, that I want this glamorous photo shoot for me during the cancer treatment. And I remember I was sitting in one of the real estate event. That first day I wear my wig. And it was so painful, so irritating that, trust me, again, why I'm telling you this is, we are hiding from society, and everybody know this behind the head, that society is not going to feed me, not going to feed them, and they are not paying their medical bill, they are not, give them house, give them car, nothing. But still we are scared of society, if they will see me without hair, what they think, if they see that those masks on my neck, what they will think. Let them think. When you perfectly fine, then also they will think. You cannot stop them. That's society, right? But if you do what they are expecting from you, that means they are actually telling society that what they believe, that believe is right. Right, sir? So we have to understand that thing, that nothing is society. Society start from us, society end from us. We are the one who create that society. See, if so, when I was in that event, I took off my wig in front of 80 people. I don't even think of a second that what rest of them think about me, because they don't know that I had a cancer. None of them know. So few of my friend knows, but everybody is like, oh wow. So I didn't get any sympathy, and they were all happy that, Anchal, we are so proud that you have a guts to take off your wig and wear a scarf in front of 80, 90 people. I was like, what's the big deal? It's my body. Why should I feel shame? We feel body shaming and all that thing, just because, again, they are not feeling everything for themselves. They're feeling for society. And that's the reason where we become weak. Or other patients who are going through, or other survivors still, sir, there are lots of survivors who don't want to talk about cancer because they had been tell by society, if you help some other cancer patient, though you overcome the same disease, but if you help someone else or talk about cancer, you will get cancer back, which is completely stupid. I don't believe in such a thing. Reason being, if somebody refused to help me or refused to listen to me, right, then how can I expect the same help for me when I'm not, I don't have that mindset to help others.
I will take a break and come back to you.